Hello, beautiful souls. Today we talk about triggers. How come a word someone says can get you off can throw you over. It can get you crazy, mad, angry, sad, on the floor, up on the roof. How does it happen? What is going on? How is that clicking? And then you find yourself in a turmoil, in a sea of emotion that you cannot control, and you're just being dragged along, and it's just you lose all control. How does that happen? And why are we being tested? I'm going tested with these triggers. So I want you to get really today in this conversation, in this video, I want you to get really curious and really stick with me to the end and explore with me. So what happens? What is a trigger? A trigger is actually a gateway, a window, whatever you want to call it, a little peephole through to freedom. Why? Because whenever there's a trigger, you'll see that there's a lot of suffering and pain that is behind it. It looks like something really small that someone says or someone does or something that happens, or that even it could be even just by yourself thinking, revisiting a memory, or just smelling a fragrance, or just anything. Maybe even energies, you walk into a room and it reminds you or me of a time where it felt really deeply shitty, and it just, sometimes it's the weather. You walk out and it reminds you of that day that you had this toughest, nastiest breakup, and it could be anything. Yeah, it could be anything. But how is it possible that it travels so fast between the neurons, and it just, you don't know where else, and it just creates this energetic whirlpool that now you can't get out of it, and it almost feels like it's not real, the present moment, but you're being transported into another dimension, another timeline, and you're not the master of it anymore. So I hope it doesn't get super complicated at this point, because when I'm talking to you, it's channeled. I'm not reading from something. I don't have my ideas written down in order. Sometimes I try to stick to some idea that I think is really important, but then as I talk to you, as I go on channeling, then it will bring me something else. And you can always leave whatever you want to talk about on the comments, and I will get back to that. Or if I miss a point here and I get so excited and you were interested, please write it down. Let me know. So, yeah, triggers, those little magic little things, tricks and clicks that get you to other dimensions, timelines, and other moods. And it's like a ticket, but where does it take you? If you let the mind and ego run the show, this ticket is probably going to take you to somewhere not so nice, and then you're going to feel powerless there, because now you can't get out of it. You feel like you're a prisoner of that trigger, because it takes you to a place in time that you don't want to be in. But what happens if you saw it as a ticket to your liberation, as a gateway to your liberation, as a peephole where you take a peep to your highest timeline? Because what the trigger is showing you is that it's screaming, it's pointing, and it's telling you, here, there's a huge wound. You should tend to it. It's bleeding. Just look at it. That's what the trigger is doing. But this journey, beautiful soul, the twin flame journey, yes, sometimes I tell myself I should mention twin flame sooner in the videos, because I know how it is. I know exactly how it is when you're at the most painful period on the journey, the most painful stages on the journey. All you want to hear about is twin flames and how to get out of the pain. So other stuff that is really actually key to the journey, just because you don't hear the word twin flame, maybe you're not really there. But still, if you're still here, bear with me, because there is a purpose to it. There is a purpose to it. Because sticking to the label twin flame is going to keep you looping, is going to keep you trapped in another toxic loop. Yeah. Why? Because this is your awakening. This is your awakening. You mastering yourself. You finally aligning with who you came here to be, who you are. And it's about like really unbecoming and finding your true self, getting back to your true self. And it's not like a lot of work that you have to really prove it. No, it's just unbecoming. It's simplifying. It's just becoming, it's just being. Yeah. But let's go back to the triggers. Yeah, what if I told you they were the gateway to your liberation? Because this is your awakening. Your twin flame came in, your divine counterpart, to wake you up, to tell you wherever there's a wound, wherever there's bleeding that is keeping you from living actually in alignment with your soul and really, really enjoying this experience we have here. Being true to your soul and still being true to the physical aspect of this. Because let's face it, most of the time at the beginning of the journey, when we finally discover like what the heck is going on, and it's just we're not going crazy, we learn about the journey and we just realize, oh, this is me. There's this thing called twin flames. This is me. And there's still doubt, there's still fear, but we're like, we're exploring, and it's just so magical. Like every day it's like unlocking another mystery. It's very spiritual, and it's just taking that path. It's just, but there's one point we have to be really careful so that it doesn't become a refuge for us. It doesn't become another comfort zone where we go to bypass, spiritually bypass, and just just keep ourselves and playing in that playground of love and light and all the spiritual, all the cliches that you hear. Because it's not just about love and light. Awakening is about your shadow as well. It is about integrating that. So at the beginning though of the journey, when you first start discovering, you'll probably be like, oh, I gotta be all zen, I gotta be Satori to get my twin flame back. So it portrays this figure in your mind that you need to be this all chill, like all love and light thing. So it's almost like as if you were playing a role. If you're not there, good for you. But if you're there, know that it happens. It happens to most of the people who are on this journey. So give yourself a break. This is not easy. But what I'm trying to say is, when you're past that point of just seeing it as like, oh, I have to be so love and light, to get my twin back and to have my ascension, it's almost like as if it's homework, or as if it's an assignment that you need to get done and for a deadline. But actually, it is about your shadow as well. And the triggers are so precious, because they're going to show you exactly where you need to look, exactly where you need to shine your light, exactly what has been creeping, hiding in the shadows. And not necessarily bad, because there's no good or bad. It's just the mind labeling things. Oh, this person is bad because they told me this. But what if you took it the other way around and you went, oh, okay, when they said this, it hit something in me that really hurts. And instead of just passing on to the next thing, distracting myself, or thinking that person is evil, or plotting a way to get back at them, or finding the best answer to their disrespectful behavior or whatever, what if I went what is it that needs to be seen inside me? What is it that needs me to tend to that wound? How can I show up for myself here? How can I show up for myself? How can I shine my light on that corner that's been left in the dark, that's been dusty? There's where it's the fear is creeping, and it's where how can I turn my light onto that and just embrace it and integrate it? So that's why triggers are so important. I'm not saying, again, this is very important, I'm not saying the goal here is to become untriggerable, or just being all love and light with everyone, everything, and just being this zen, almost like the, this cartoon character of a monk. No, it's not about that. It's about having healthy boundaries, and those boundaries are felt by you first, are set by you. Because when you're fully aligned with your soul, and when you're really interacting with the world from a place of heart and soul, you'll know when it's a boundary, and you'll know when it's a defense, and you'll know when it's an attack. So when you're in the soul, you can just sit back and relax, because your soul has all the answers, all the wisdom you need. Yeah. So it's just about every answer you're looking for on this journey is within. So what you really need to do is, you cannot find those answers when you're in the mind, because whenever you get a glimpse of light or wisdom of your soul, the mind is going to take it, start playing with it, and it's going to create stories. It's like running at 100 miles an hour. It's running. So what happens? Let's say you're sitting and you're looking for an answer. Yeah, looking for an answer. And then you have something. You have a little, how you feel it, because the soul doesn't talk like the mind. It's not going to give you a whole sentence. It's going to give you a color. It's going to give you a word. It's going to give you a feeling, something. It's not going to be as aggressive, And then when the mind takes control over it, it's going to be like, oh, did I just see color blue? Oh, blue is the color of this, and then it means that, and then that means oh, and then it just escalates. I got so excited. I can't. I'm sorry. So yes, that's how the mind takes control over. It's funny because, when you're first really getting to operate from soul, you're going to have moments where you experience that, and it's going to be maybe short at the beginning, and then you're going to come back and you're going to say, wow, that was amazing. How can I go back to that? How can I go back to that? Especially if you had your twin coming back in when you were in soul, then your mind is going to try to find the way back. It's going to go like, what did I do that my twin flame came back, or they contacted me, or sent me a text? And then it's the mind all over again, and it's another separation, because now you're all in expectation and just waiting for a certain outcome, and you're now trying to follow certain steps to get that certain outcome. We don't want that. What we want is you being in soul, and your whole life is being in soul. Of course, the mind is going to be there. We live in the 3D world. We live on this world. We have our daily life. We have our families. We have our homes. We have our finances, work. The mind is a beautiful tool. Okay, let's get back to what I was saying. So at first, you're going to have those satori moments where it's like all zen, and you are in touch with your soul, and you're going to feel the difference. You're going to be like, wow, there is no time here. There is no form here. And as you start describing it through the mind with words, it's going to start dissipating. And you're going to be like, oh, I just had that. Where is it? And then the next time, maybe it's going to be longer. And then the next time, it's going to be longer. As you move along this journey, which is a forward-moving journey, whatever you do, however you feel like, even if when you feel like you're going backwards and you're regressing, it's not true. This is a forward-moving journey. So, as you move along the journey further, you're going to see that those times when you're in soul are going to be much longer. And by then, you're not going to be so preoccupied. You're not going to be looking for ways to describe it. You're just going to let it be. You're just going to be in soul. You're just going to be in, that stillness and peace. Oh yeah, that was so oh sorry, that was really in stillness and peace. It gave me like a bing, just it reset my mind. Yeah, so those times are gonna get longer and longer and longer, and the way you deal with triggers is gonna change, because now you're gonna know that you are a multidimensional being that will travel, that will time travel, timeline travel, that will energetically travel, that will, it's gonna be a beautiful discovery. But I don't want you to be discouraged whenever there's a trigger that takes you back to feeling like shit, because that's a part of it. And I don't want you to be running away to find that next Satori moment, or be like, no, I shouldn't be experiencing this. I heard that union is when you're really zen and when you're really like peaceful and in stillness, so I should always be zen and love and light. No, the triggers are there. Your twin is coming back to trigger you. Why? Because there is a wound that is bleeding that you need to tend to. And then maybe the next one, and then maybe a deeper one. But step by step, wound by wound, you're like closing those cracks. You're filling them with love that is so unshakable, that is so strong, that is so nurturing, that nothing, no one can ever shake you again. So this is about becoming whole, like finding your wholeness. You're already whole and complete. It's about finding that. It is about seeing that for what it really is. So this journey is a beautiful gift. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift. So actually, the triggers are gifts. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it's really, really overwhelming. I agree. And this journey is not easy, but trust that whatever your soul brings your way, you're ready for it. You're ready to see it, look at it in the eye in eye, and give it your love, shine your light onto it, and just give it space to exist. That's all. That is all. Oh, this is a long one, and I admit I had like multiple downloads, and I was, I had to say a lot. I hope this helps, and if you want to work further with me, if you want to go deeper with those triggers, and if you want support doing that, coaching or courses or programs where I walk you through, visit my website. It's www.deardf.com, like deardivinefeminine, deardf.com. And yeah, you got this. It's a beautiful thing. This journey is a beautiful gift, and yeah, you're gonna be surprised every time. You're gonna look back and go, yeah, oh, that was another layer. And you'll remember my words. If you're here now, like 19 minutes to this, if you're here now, remember my words every time, because at points, at times on this journey, you're going to be like, why is it still going on? Why is my divine masculine still running? I'm whole, I'm complete, I'm feeling super nice, and I'm all spiritual, and I'm all done. Like, I'm done. Trust me, you're going to look back and say, oh, I was so not done. There was another layer. There was a deeper layer that now I'm so grateful that I got to discover that. So, you got this. check out my website, check out my Instagram, my Facebook, wherever you want to reach me. It's fine. Just yeah. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised where this journey takes you, and you're going to also be so not surprised, because deep down you'll know that it's what you're meant to be. Your fulfillment, your alignment. And if we work together, I'll have the pleasure to see you step into that and transform into this beautiful, like gorgeous, badass, like this goddess that is a beamer of light and love, and is shining and integrating shadow, light, every aspect, and like standing in that sovereignty, in that power, in that pride. Like, so proud. Okay, I'll leave it now. Sending you so much love. You got this.